Hello, and welcome to the announcement for the future of the 2023 Marbury series, aka the announcement video for spring 2023. So, of course, I have to make this before the season finale. Tomorrow, of course, you gotta stay tuned for, as well as all the things that are gonna happen in the 2023 Marbury series, such as C2 Marbury's 100, Marbury's Tournament 10, and etc. And so, yeah, and of course this originally was going to be yesterday, but due to constant mind flubbings and interruptions, and just due to me being too busy yesterday, I decided to just delay this to today. And so, but if this doesn't really go well, then of course I'll just have to delay this to next weekend, but yeah. But, of course, there's nothing I can go over for the intro. So now let's get on to the first topic, which is Marbury's Tournament 10 or X, whatever you like to call it. So of course, Marbury's Tournament 10 is planned to be my biggest video of 2023. Well, not biggest video of 2023. C2 Marbury's 100 is actually planned to be my biggest video of 2023, which of course I explained in C2 Marbury's 79. But yeah, which of course you should go check that out. But Marbury's Tournament 10 is, of course, planned to be at least my second biggest video of 2023, aside from the Marbury Series Awards and such, but yeah. So, for Marbury's Tournament 10, we have is 32 marbles, 6 rounds, 3 videos, 1 winner, and, why did I even put 1 winner there? Because there's always going to be 1 winner in every tournament, but whatever. Just decided to put in there for giggles and such. I apologize for constant mind flubbing and everything, but whatever. We're all not perfect. Lol. That's what I always say when I flub my lines, but yeah. And of course, the Marbury Series World title will be on the line, like usual with every tournament nowadays, and will be defended by, as said, 32 other contestants. And of course, for the format of what those videos will be in, parts 1 and 2 will be normal videos due to school. So therefore, only Part 3 will be a premiere, especially since by the time Part 2 comes out, which of course will be on Thursday, I potentially may have an open house event during that time, so of course I just want to have time for that. And so, yeah, and of course Part 3 would be on the weekend, which of course gives me more time for a premiere. And so, yeah. And of course, it will also be the only 2023 tournament due to how big it is and the amount of big videos being released this year, especially C2 Marbury's 100, because that's going to be my biggest video of 2023. Well, yeah, I said that a bunch of times, so y'all pretty much know the drill of that by now. And, of course, tracks would change every round we proceed with. However, though, the grand finale track will stay the same as the semifinals track. And so, yeah, I guess that's all the info for Marbury's Tournament 10. So now, let's recap. So we have 32 marbles, 6 rounds, 3 videos, 1 winner. The Marbury Series World title will also be on the line and will be defended by 32 other contestants. Parts 1 and 2 will be normal videos due to school, so therefore only Part 3 will be a premiere. And of course, it will also be the only 2023 tournament due to how big it is and the amount of videos being released this year. And of course, tracks would change every single rounds we proceed with. However, though, the grand finale track would stay the same as the semifinals track. And so, yeah, that's basically all the info I can go over for Marbury's Tournament 10. And of course, I apologize for constant mind flubbing and just messing up lines, but, we're all not perfect. But, yeah, let's just move on to the next topic, which is more plans for C2 Marbury's 100. So, I didn't really explain much in my last announcement video for C2 Marbury's 100. Well, simply because I didn't really want to spoil much, but here's a bunch more info I have for C2 Marbury's 100 on what the whole thing would be looking like. So, yeah. So, for the groups that the marbles will be separated will be based on their looks, such as the solid colors group, the clear swirls, the plastics group, the solid swirls, etc. And of course, each group would compete in elimination rates, where the bottom 2 would be eliminated, just to save time and everything. And the winners from each group will move on to the semifinals, which of course would be in a standard tournament form. But yeah. And of course, the winners of the semifinals will fight to see who will battle the Marbury Series World Champion, while the losers of the semis will fight for third place. And of course, the winner of the finals will fight the Marbury Series World Champion in a best of 5 match. And the first person to 5 points will become the overall new world champion. Or, of course, the world champion could retain it, but yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. So, of course, that's all the plans I can go over for C2 Marble 100. Oh yeah, no, what I also forgot to mention in here is that after the end of the C2 Marble 100 trilogy, the entire Marbury series roster will go on specifically on a 1 month hiatus until like sometime mid-September. And so yeah, of course, yeah, the entire roster would go on a 1 month hiatus just to prepare for Chapter 3. And even though I forgot to include this in here, but whatever. So now, yeah, let's recap the plans for C2 Marble Race 100. So the groups that the marbles will be separated in will be based on their looks. Each group will compete in an elimination race where the bottom two would be eliminated, and the winners from each group will move on to the semifinals. The winners of the semis will fight to see who will battle the Marbury Series World Champion, while the losers of the semis will fight for third place, and the winner of the finals will fight the Marbury Series World Champion in a best of 5 match, and the first person to 5 points will become the new world champion. Or, of course, the world champion can retain it, but yeah. So that's basically all the plans for C2 Marbles 100, and now let's get into, well, basically another C2 Marbles 100 page, but this time it's the tracks for this tournament. So for the the tracks that will be used for this tournament, so for the group rounds, both the Marvelous and Imaginarium sets will be combined, because, well, if I just have like one track used for this whole tournament, it could be a little boring, and of course, two marble sets, well, yeah, specifically 2 or more marble sets that could be featured in this tournament would make it a little more unique and interesting. Yeah, hence why I decided to include the Imaginarium set in this tournament, since it's the only other set that works well with glass marbles. Well, despite me having another marble set that actually works well with glass marbles, but I just barely even use it anymore. But yeah, But speaking of which, I'll get to more info about it once I. Yeah, I'll just get into more info about it later. But so yeah, and of course for the semifinals track, it will be the same. It will actually be the same as the group rounds, but will be slightly modified. And of course for the third place round, aka the finals, of course, it will be the same but will be modified again. And of course, the marble set that I just talked about earlier, that basically has been on the shelf line since the start of Chapter 2, will actually be making its return. So you guys definitely do not want to miss out on that, because it's going to be interesting. It could also be a little historic, since that will actually be the first video to use that marble set in quite a while. But yeah, I apologize for constant line flubbing, but we're all not perfect. And of course, for the grand finale, will actually be the only part that will actually use a different track entirely. And of course, it will just feature the Imaginarium set just to save time, and to also throw in a bit of nostalgia, since I actually used to use this marble set, well, basically the old Imaginarium set, in my early Chapter 1 videos. And so yeah, that will actually throw in a bit of nostalgia, even though it's actually the Plego set, because that's the set I mostly use nowadays. But yeah, and of course it will be the same track unless we head into sudden death or anything. But yeah, so that's basically all the tracks that are going to be used for this tournament. So now let's recap. So both the Marvelous and Imaginarium sets will be combined, just make things a little more interesting and unique. And the semifinals track will be the same as the group rounds, but will be slightly modified. And for the third place round and the finals, it will just be the same as the previous rounds, but will be modified again. And of course, another marble set that has been on the shelf line since the start of Chapter 2 will be making its return. And of course, for the grand finale, like I said, it will be the only part that will use a different track entirely. And of course, it will just feature the Imaginarium set just to save time, and to also throw in a bit of nostalgia. And it will be the same unless we head into sudden death. And so, yeah. So of course, yeah, we're mostly just gonna use one track for this tournament, even though it will be slightly modified as the rounds pass by. But yeah, so that's all the info about the tracks for this tournament. And now let's move on to the next page, which of course more plans for Chapter 3. So of course in my Winter 2022 announcement video, I didn't really explain much for the plans for Chapter 3. I just explained what the tracks will be like for Chapter 3, such as only 3 tracks would be used every season. Speaking of which, I'm actually doing that move right now, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. And so, for the plans for Chapter 3, the current Studio 4 videos will be retired when Chapter 2 ends, specifically because, well, I'm actually moving into a new house this summer, which of course would result the current Studio 4 videos being retired. And of course, a new studio will debut in the first race of Chapter 3. Well, even though the quick races that are going to be done during Chapter 2 Season 10, they will actually be taking place in the new studio just so I can save time because, well, yeah, I'm actually going to pre-tape all of the Chapter 2 Season 9 and 10 races before my move. But, so, yeah. And, of course, like I said, a new studio will debut in the first race of Chapter 3. And so, yeah, cannot wait to see what the new studio will look like. But, yeah, we're just going to have to see with that. And, of course, along with the current Studio 4 videos being retired, I will also retire voiceover in both the final results and outros, just to save time and reduce the difficulty in races. Because, well, yeah, the final results and outros are usually the parts that are a little more difficult to do voiceovers, and pretty much the in-race part is the only part that's ever easy to do voiceovers. So therefore, I decided to retire voiceover in both the final results and outros, just to save time and reduce the difficulty in races. So yeah, so pretty much when Chapter 3 comes, pretty much races will have a bit of a mixture of no voiceover and some voiceover. So yeah, that's nice. And of course, this would mean that voiceover will still remain in the in-race part only. And so, yeah. But yeah, don't worry, voiceovers are not going away entirely, because like I said, they're still going to be in the race, but pretty much the final results and the outros will just be the standard old way again. But yeah. And of course, I will also make use of one track that utilizes the Imaginarium set every other season. Not every season, just every other season. Along with using one ABNSS 22X track every season, just to, help me with track ideas. That's pretty much what ABNSS 22X explained in his latest announcement video. Well, yeah, pretty much the February 2023 announcement video, in which you should go check that out once I'm done, once this video is over, because that also explains what his 2023 Marbury series will be like, especially for with his end C2 Marbury's 150 coming his way, because that race, well, for his end at least, is actually going to be his biggest video of 2023. So you guys definitely don't want to miss out on that, because it's going to be pretty big and such. But yeah, and of course, yeah, let's just get back to the topic. So like I said, only one track that utilizes the Imaginarium set will be used every other season, just to help with track ideas. Even though I said in my Winter 2022 announcement video that Imaginarium races will severely be nerfed. Well, yeah, I decided to just get rid of that, just have the Imaginarium set used every other season. But I'm still gonna focus on using my actual main set, which is of course currently the Marbulus set, and will probably be just the Marbulus set going forward and such. But yeah. And of course, along with the music requests being retired, song management would only be handled by me, just so I can be free to pick what songs I can and cannot use. And so, yeah, I guess that's all the plans I have for Chapter 3. So now, let's recap. So the current Studio 4 videos will be retired when Chapter 2 ends, which of course would result a new studio debuting in the first race of Chapter 3, even though the quick races that will be done during Chapter 2 Season 10 will be done in the new studio. But yeah, and of course, I will also retire voiceover in both the final results and outros, especially to save time, and reduce the difficulty in races, so therefore the voiceover will only remain in the in-race part. And of course, I'll also make use of one track that utilizes the Imaginarium set every other season, along with using one ABNess test 22X track every other season. Well, yeah, every season, not every other season, but yeah. Apologize for constant mind flubbing, but yeah, not everyone's perfect. And of course, along with music requests being retired, song management would only be handled by me. So yeah, that's basically all the plans I have for Chapter 3. And so now, let's get into one more page, which is of course, basically more changes I decided to make for the channel. So, unless necessarily, escalator and elevator content will be retired simply because I don't really have the opportunity to do those videos. And also, I kind of have been I kind of have been losing interest on those type of videos, especially since I've mostly been focusing on mob races. So therefore, I decided to just throw that in the garbage. Well, I won't throw it in the garbage entirely. If I find something that I probably might want to get a take of, then yeah, I could probably do that. But yeah, escalators and elevators will not be in my content mainly anymore. So yeah. And of course, except for the regular races, tournaments, duels, elimination tournaments, quick races, teamwork racing, and such, all the other Marble content will be retired, such as the Marble Olympics, the Marble Run Close-Up Series, the 4 Marble Showdowns. Well, even though the Olympic Series and the 4 Marble Showdown Series have already been retired. But yeah, simply because that was way too much work for yours truly. And plus, since I'm not in distance learning anymore, since I did those types of videos when I was still doing online school, and now since I'm back in regular school, yeah, I don't really get the opportunity to do those types of videos anymore. So therefore, I decided to just reduce the amount of Marble content I do, and just do the regular races, tournaments, duels, elimination tournaments, and just, yeah, etc. And of course, the ASMR Marble Run videos are also included in that list, simply because I've mostly been focusing on regular races and such, because, you know, yeah, I don't really do those type of videos anymore, since I kind of have been losing interest in them, so, yeah. And of course, the regular ASMR videos would be replaced by the quick race shorts, especially since they get more views, and the regular ASMR videos, on the other hand, don't really get much views, despite I did make one Marble Run ASMR video, and it got, thousands of views, but, yeah. Most of my ASMR videos don't really get much views, so therefore, I also decided to retire them because of that, and I decided to just replace them with the quick race shorts, especially since, you know, they get more views. And so, yeah, I guess that's all the channel changes I can go over. So now, let's recap. So, unless necessary, escalator and elevator content will be retired simply because I don't really have the opportunity to do those videos. And of course, except for the regular races, tournaments, duels, elimination tournaments, quick races, teamwork racing, and such, all the other Marble content will be retired. And of course, ASMR Marble Run videos are also included in that list. In that list, simply because I don't really have the. It's simply because I've mostly been focusing on the regular races and such. And of course, they will be replaced with the quick race shorts, especially since they get more views. And so, yeah, I guess that's all I can go over for this very, very long announcement video. This very, very long announcement video, and it may probably be my longest announcement video yet, but yeah. And of course, I do apologize for a bunch of line flubbing, but, you know, not everyone's perfect and such. And so, yeah, that's going to be about it for this video. And of course, since we are now in the thank you page, specifically the thanks for watching page, this means that this video is officially over. And so, yeah, that's pretty much going to be about it for this very, very long announcement video. And so, yeah, since there's nothing else I can say here, let's just sign off. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Yeah, please give me a big thumbs up to share your support. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the notification bell enabled if you haven't already to get notified when whenever I upload something, which I do every single week on this channel. And of course, again, I apologize for a bunch of line flubbing, but not everyone's perfect and such, but yeah. I do say that every time I flub my lines, but yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's going to be about it for this announcement video. Thanks for watching, bye bye for now, and have a great day. Peace out.